Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Freedom Tea Talks this lovely Tuesday. I think the last Tuesday of April, actually. Good morning, Powered by 3. I see you out there. This morning, I wanted to share, and you're getting all the real life noises of real life going on. Since I'm by the window, it's open. There's a coolness happening. Good morning over there. But really giving a chance to talk about, like, who is your community? Like, who are the people that make up your community? Why? How do you even get to a point of inviting and bringing them into your space? And starting to dig deeper into being very intentional about who it is you are. Good morning over on LinkedIn. Being intentional about who it is that you're actually bringing into your community and what you'd like to be gaining from your accessibility to them, as well as them from you. And I'm just going to pull up my little side notes really quickly here. Like, my team's so awesome, they can already tell that, like, I was about to go into a space of, like, now I know I said community. Now, what did I say specifically? Because I'd like to create ultimately a series over the course of these next couple of weeks. If you haven't noticed online, you may have seen a post about a Goddess Vibes Unleashed Summit that is coming up that is free. Did you hear me? Bing, 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 free. So feel free to sign up for that, join in, the links in all the bios. You know what to do, you know how it goes, to be on the wait list. But what I realized over this past weekend, and actually a couple of times throughout this year specifically, just noticing for myself how good it felt to be able to be around people that were like-minded, and not just for business purposes. So this is even like my friendships, like people that are just really good people so far as I'm concerned. And yes, we may have met through work, we may have met in other different places that were associated with business, but just having them around me and knowing that I have accessibility to them has helped enhance the quality of the person that I am when I show up, because I'm able to be me on purpose, be the best version that I can in that moment, and also be in a great space where people feel comfortable to maybe let you know when you're hangry or when you're showing up in a way that's not in alignment with who it is you said you want to be, how you want to be, and what that even looks like in real time. So when I think about, or when we're discussing community, understand you can have multiple different communities that you may be a part of. There may be a community that if you do work at a job, and I just call them day jobs, you may have your day job community, you may have your workout community, you may have your friends you went to elementary school, junior high, high school, college, all the different educational resources, as well as different organizations that you may come across for health reasons. Again, business, just lots of different ways to actually become a part of a community, and then deciding which ones you'd like to call your own. When you look at those different communities, there's things that you may notice are shared across multiple ones. There may be things that you and them, because of that, you all are together friends or really, really intentional associates. I would venture to say, to some aspect, fraternities and sororities are intentional about creating community. So there is a whole community of Greek life that, while there's various different fraternities and sororities, there is a consistent theme overall, and then each one like circles down into their own individual experiences based on more commonalities of those traits of the people that are showing up and the people that are choosing to be a part of it. When you look at it in this moment, if you were to say, what communities are most important or pressing to me in this moment, the first things that are popping to your mind, just think about those and think about who are the people that show up there. My first community is the people in my household. So we are alike or have the same literal living address in common. Your family can actually be a part of your community in that obviously there might be some DNA share. There may have been some intentional, you having the opportunity to inherit a new family that maybe wasn't biological and vice versa. But what are those things that you all have in common? And what do you really appreciate and like about what happens in those communities and that aspect of who you are? To be fair, there are other communities, and I would say these are the just for show, just for party, like someone you may consider your party community, you might not ever consider bringing them into a space for a business venture or opportunity. And there isn't anything wrong with that. Just understanding there are different reasons for different communities that serve different purposes. And of course, I would like to just bring to your attention, if you're noticing that one of those communities does not allow you to be the best version of yourself, this is a great opportunity and time to start reevaluating before we get to the summer and everybody starts getting into their hot girl or hoochie daddy modes, whatever those may look like for you, but that you give yourself a moment to really check out which communities are supportive to you and bring out a version of you that you may have written about on a vision board, a dream board, or maybe just an affirmation that you make for yourself every single day. Hey, over there in IG, that you want to be this particular person. So when you're in the company of those particular people, do you then have the opportunity to show up like that? Or is it a community that actually is pulling you away from the opportunity to be that version? I would venture to say someone that recognizes they have a substance problem may not be able to still be around the folks that they used to do substances with at the moment in time when they made the decision that they'd like to be a different version of themselves that no longer includes that. So now their community may switch to an AA community, but being conscious and aware of how your environment and the folks that you allow around you and the energy that comes with it allows you to really start to hone in on what it is you like to do, why, where, when, and how. The next component I'd like you to check out and just see for yourself within all these different communities that you've chosen to be a part of and some that you were literally just born into. What are some of the unique differences about you as an individual as it compares to the other people in that community? There are certain things about you that you bring to that community that ideally everyone is able to mutually benefit from because you chose to show up, because you decided to be you in your fullness. Those things that are common and join you together, your unique differences bring another level of strength of the collective whole because you choose to be you. Are some of your differences things that you've noticed or that you do on purpose? Are some of them just, it is what it is, but acknowledging it allows there to eliminate elephants that might be in the rooms of those communities so that there's more of a collective and cohesive experience of choosing to join together, of choosing to be in the same space and still showing up with the common commitment that you all have made to be in the space, which is my fingers crossed, my hopes that everybody gets to be a better version of them, that you did it on purpose. There's a certain aspect of like, if you look at gang life, or if you look at, different street empires, there is a certain component of the different people that are part of those communities that everybody collectively understands is the same, is here for. And then there's this aspect that different people bring up unique skills or things that they bring to the past. I'll say the military. Let's look at that. In the military, you have various different MOSs, different jobs that people do. And all those different jobs are all important and necessary for the collective effective efficiency of the military being able to do its job. When all the people act in their uniqueness collectively with that same common ground under their belt, good morning on IG, when everyone is acting in their roles and actually doing the job that they signed up for, which allow them to be uniquely different within the same community of the military, it allows all those different jobs to start to come together and click, kind of like a clock. There's different little widgets and spins and stuff that happens when everybody does their specific role, it allows all the things to go together. It allows all the things to function how they're supposed to, efficiently, effectively, and in a way that really allows the best version of what that military is trying to put out there to do. When we show up in our communities and we're able to show up in our common uniqueness, we allow other people to not only have a different perspective and aspect of what's possible, but we also are now available to experience other people's, because we chose to collectively be around others instead of just relying on our knowledge, despite how smart we may be. And I would venture to say, I might know a couple of things. I'm pretty smart, but I am always extremely excited to see what unique differences other people in the communities I'm in can bring that just enhance whatever I may know, or allow me to deepen stuff that I thought I already knew and was good at, because now I have the opportunity to see a different way of just enhancing it. But I wouldn't have that if every single person in every single community I belong to was exactly the same. The people that you are around, they wouldn't have that same opportunity if you were just like them. So kind of bringing it around, if there was a space or capacity for having a reason to join a community, if you haven't chosen some, it would be to look at what are the things that you believe, that you stand on, and you're like, okay, as long as people are about this, then I'm good with learning the different variations and different ways that we can go about doing that. And not being afraid to show up and just be you. Like, show up anyways, show up and be who you are, and allow people the opportunity to embrace you. Take up space in the room, show up and do you. And if doing you, if you find that it's actually not being a nice person, then, go find your community of not nice people. But let the good people be happy. Let them be easy. Let that collaboration of time and energy flow in a way that's truly supportive. And I know there's some people that, you might like a little drama here and there. Don't bring it to other people that didn't ask for it. Give yourself permission to take a moment and check yourself. Even if you actually do typically bring great stuff to a community, give yourself a chance to see, like, okay, am I in a good space today? Am I in a space where I can actually show up and be my 100% for today in a way that I would like to be? And if you find that your 100% for that day is maybe at 50, for instance, yesterday, I did not feel very well. I needed some time. I needed some space. There wasn't going to be a benefit for me to show up in different communities or to even provide individual services throughout a good part of the day, because I needed to get stable on what my common foundational grounds were so I can show up in those communities. I could show up in a way that really is supportive to what it is I'd like to be creating in those spaces, and making sure that I'm giving just as much as I'm receiving from the other people. So as you guys are out there, I'm just wondering, who in this moment is noticing some communities that maybe you want to join and have thought about it, and now you're like, okay, I think I'm going for it. And or maybe some communities where you find you may have gained what was available for you and may not be in a space where you necessarily want to continue to maintain it, which is great, especially if you take actions to do something different. And you can totally drop an emoji or put a thumbs up or something just to let me know, like, yep, felt that. Evaluating that every quarter is a great opportunity to evaluate what you're doing, why you're doing it, and who and where you're doing it with, so that you are showing up in communities and spaces that are going to be supportive to what it is you'd like to create. As I mentioned earlier, there is a Goddess Vibes Unleashed Summit that you are going to start seeing lots of information about. So prepare to be sick of me. If you are a male and you just don't want to see it for a moment, like, feel free to swipe on past. But before you do, forward it to a woman that you do know that maybe is a part of your community, that you'd love for her to have the opportunity to connect with other women in a way that's beneficial to her. And ladies, for you all, there's so many awesome people, and there's some surprise folks that might even be coming in. that I can't wait for them to share their gifts with you on how you can truly embody and own a version of yourself as a goddess, and how you showing up with that level of feminine energy allows you to be the CEO of your life in a way and a version that is supportive to who it is you'd like to be creating, and how other people get the opportunity to experience you as, the greatest version of yourself. So if you haven't already, sign up for our regular emails. We have Freedom Friday emails and Wellness Wednesday emails that go out every week, just offering tips, guides, recaps of maybe different themes that we've talked about throughout the month that are supportive to. Sometimes just seeing it after you've heard a video, like, it just helps to remember. In that same space, we also send out special invites and opportunities when we have different events and things coming up that really afford you the opportunity to take advantage and get access to some more exclusive and intimate content. So if you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, please feel free to text us at 626-722-5661. And also feel free to give us a nice little shout out and sign up for our email list. You can send us emails at info@greaterself.org, and we'll respond if there's topics that you'd love for us to cover. If we aren't already in a specific cycle of doing things, like, by all means, feel free, reach out. I love to talk about what you all want to talk about. It kind of is the whole point for me being here in the first place. So do feel free to share. You'll probably be seeing on the different spots the link to be able to share, to sign up for the Goddess Vibes Unleashed waitlist. So if you're a person you're like, I just want to do it right this minute, you would type in goddessvibesunleashed.com /waitlist. I think that's how it goes. It'd be way better if you just click the link and then go for it. That way you get it right. Spell all the words right and all the things. So I hope you all have an amazing Tuesday, and I look forward to seeing you all next Tuesday and sharing more info and dropping more snippets and sneak peeks of what's coming up in this Goddess Vibe Summit, so that you guys just have at least half the excitement that I have. I know I may seem real chill right now. There's so much energy vibrating around it that you just have to be there. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I look forward to seeing you all later. Do check the link, goddessvibesunleashed.com /waitlist. If you are a guy, forward it to a lady you know. If you're a woman, feel free to click it and share it with a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we will see y'all later. Have a great rest of your day.